Today I want to talk about the truth of multi-level marketing and why I have a big problem with it. I want to start with a little nuance. I'm not here to say every single MLM is pure evil. I actually shop from a multi-level marketing company called Melaleuca. The products are decent, the convenience is nice, and I've generally had a good experience as a customer. So I'm not blanket bashing the idea that an MLM can sell something worthwhile. But even in that positive example, I hit a wall. I learned the hard way that if you recommend the product to someone and hand them off to your distributor, that person is going to get hounded to become a distributor themselves. I had a very negative experience with that, and now I never recommend their products to anyone. That's my first clue that MLM's biggest problem isn't the product, it's the structure. In most MLMs, success doesn't come from selling the product. It comes from recruiting. You're not just a salesperson, you're a recruiter who has to tell almost everyone you meet, you'd be great at this, you'll make a lot of money. That's where the dishonesty starts. They roll out the classic, just get two friends who get two friends math that makes it look like you'll be rich in no time. But the math is fantasy. If you actually follow the pyramid all the way down, you need more people than exists on the planet. Most people don't realize this, and the few who do tend to get in very early when it's still possible to build a large downline. Here's the core of the problem. I don't believe you can be both completely honest and highly successful in MLM. In a regular business, the better you know your product, the more effective you are at selling it. But in MLM, if you present yourself as an expert, you scare people off. Why? Because it makes it look like you have to learn a lot too, and that kills recruitment. MLMs actually encourage you to seem less knowledgeable so you can push the anyone can do this narrative. The product becomes a legal fig leaf. The real thing you're selling is the business opportunity, and the opportunity, quote unquote, only works for a tiny fraction of people. Look at the stage at any MLM mega event, and you'll see the same handful of top earners year after year. The percentage of people who actually make significant money is tiny. For every one person who keeps going, dozens, maybe hundreds drop out. And the churn never stops. The model depends on constantly replacing the people who give up. That's why so many MLM veterans will tell you if you're not in early, your chances are almost zero. Dave Ramsey once used a term that stuck with me: friend rape. It's harsh, but it's accurate. MLMs push you to mine your closest relationships for leads. You call your best friends, your family, your old classmates. They buy something because they feel bad saying no. Then you recruit them to do the same to their friends. It's not just awkward. It changes how people see you. You become that person in your social circle, and it can sour friendships. I saw this up close in professional networking groups like BNI. Officially, if you're in an MLM, you can sell your products there, but you're not allowed to pitch the business. And yet, almost every MLM person I met in those groups broke that rule every time. Why? Because selling the product isn't enough. If it were, they wouldn't risk getting kicked out. They have to pitch the business because that's where the money is. The culture subtly teaches that rules are bendable if they get in the way of recruitment. Here's something interesting. Republicans tend to be more MLM friendly than Democrats. Now, I usually agree with Republicans on free market principles, but here I think they're wrong. This isn't healthy capitalism. It's a structure built on manipulation and false hope. Part of it is ideological, and part of it is lobbying. MLM companies have powerful advocates in Washington, and they've worked hard to keep regulators at bay. MLMs aren't pure scams. They're real products, and a tiny fraction of people do make money. But they are scam-like in how they operate. If you want to become one of the top earners, you can't just be a good, honest salesperson. You have to hype the opportunity to almost everyone you meet, convince them it's perfect for them, and push them to go after their friends. That's the business model. And that's why, even though I still buy a few products from one MLM, I'll never sell from one again. And I never recommend anyone join one without understanding the reality.